Hello everyone, let's continue our journey. Let me check Google Drive, work, project management, proficiency test. Okay, let's see how much progress we had so far to solve this test. This one done, it done. Resource done. In last session we were discussing about reporting, right? So we covered this part, reporting, and now let's start with project updating. Okay, so let me emphasize this point again. This is not a tutorial. This is not a tutorial about the project updating. This is a video that I'm trying to solve project management proficiency test, and I'm using Microsoft Project as a tool to solve the test. Although I'm explaining some features, some concepts during the video, but I'm not covering everything because not everything is relevant for solving this test. For example, updating in Microsoft Project, you have different approach. It depends what information available in your project plan. You have a different approach to update your project plan. If you don't have resource, if you don't have cost, if you don't have if you just have task and the duration, your approach is different. When you have a resource, then your approach is different. There are different approach to update a project. Okay, but in this exam, in this test, we have resource, we have details, and we need to update the project plan based on those details. So our approach is a little bit different. You may see on other videos, on the other tutorials, that they try to update the project plan with different approach. That's fine, but you need to make sure that the approach they use to update the project plan can fit can fit what you need on your project plan. What I mean is, if you have a detailed resource, like if you specified for each day, like what we did. Look at here, task usage. Where is the task usage? Here, as you can see, for each task we define resource and we specified how much this day, how much that day. If your leveling, if your planning is at this level, when you want to update your project, you also need to go at this level. Okay, for example, you need to know that if this engineering team spend 20 hours on this day, because the plan was to spend 20 hours on this day, okay, then you need to know the information that you receive to update your project plan must be aligned with this level of planning. If you're planning as detailed as this level, then when you want to update your project plan, you also need information at this level to update it. That's what I'm saying. If no, you just created a task and gave duration like 25 days, very rough estimate, and that level of plan without any resource, and that level of planning is fine for you, then updating your project plan at that level also is fine. In that case, you cannot go say, okay, this guy work on this task for 25 hours. That information is kind of irrelevant for level of planning that you had in past. So the level of report, the level of information from actual data that you receive and you want to reflect them on your project plan should be at the same level of your planning details. It should be a balance between the planning and actual information that you receive and you want to reflect them on your plan. That's what I'm saying here. Okay, so let's start and see what it is mentioned here. You receive the below updates at the end of each week, and you need to apply them in your PM tool, in our case Microsoft Project, and provide feedback as per below. Overall status and project and program. Okay. Compare the actual cost, your planned cost. Okay, we can compare the actual cost and planned cost. So far so good. Evaluate the current status and the project based on error value technique. Okay. As per the current progress, how many days delay you expect? Okay, it also we can see it from earned value analysis. Specify the key and essential task of your projects. What is the current physical percent complete? Is there any issue related to resource availability? What would be the solution applied to your schedule plan? Is there any issue related to budget and cost? What would be the solution applied? Okay. So let's see what happened on week 1. Week 1 report. The information that we received for the first week. The first week is also the first week of the November, right? Right now is also 8th of November. It wasn't on purpose, but right now that I'm recording this video is 8th of November. And project also, in our assumption, project also started at the beginning of the November, so basically we are kind of aligned here, not on purpose. But anyway, the story is 1 week passed from project start. 1 week passed, and we received the information about what happened. What exactly happened? Let me change the color, maybe it's better. I like this one. Green, red, like this. Yeah. And start date. By the way, it's something that I prefer, but I also recommend you to use this. Start date blue. This one also blue. Okay. Okay. Now, 1 week passed. Look at the red line. Let me clarify something for you. Why we need updating? Okay. Let's assume. Can I change the? Oh, never mind. Let's assume that we are on the first day of the project, 1st of the November. Okay. This is our plan. This is our plan. This is a plan that is finalized, approved, and we are ready to start the work, the actual work. And today is the first day of the project. First of all, when you finalize your planning, what you need to do is to create a baseline, because the baseline is a snapshot from your project that later on you can compare the actual information that you entered into the software with the baseline, and you can calculate the variance, right? So let me, before touching any information, let me create a baseline. Okay, entire project. Okay, now I'm creating another baseline just for backup, baseline 1. I'm just doing this just for the backup, because later on I may try to re-baseline the project for some reasons, and then but still I want to have the original baseline. Other things that you can do is just keep the copy of the project file somewhere separately, but the tool, an option that exists inside of the software is project baseline. Now, another the important concept. Now you have a baseline. What happened is 1 week passed. Now look at the Gantt chart. Keep it in mind. It's very important. This concept is very important. Whenever you open any schedule plan, no matter if it's Microsoft project, open project on Linux, Primavera P6, whatever. When you open the project plan, when you look at the current date, if you see a task behind the current date, and if you see that task is still in planning, it is not have actual data, still it's under planning. Let me show you how does it look like when, for example, a task become 100%. Okay, let me change the view to tracking Gantt. Tracking Gantt chart. Okay. I didn't create the baseline for the project files. Let me also create project files, set baseline, and set baseline 1. The previous baseline was for the master plan. I need to do it for projects as well, because remember they are separate files at the end. Set baseline. Okay, now moving back. Okay, task, let me mark it as complete. Grid line, because it's a new view, I need to change this one as well. Okay, see, if you look at the left side of the current date, or left side of the status line, the date that you want to apply for updating, this task is 100% completed. What is it telling me? It is telling me that something was planned to happen in past and it's done, right? Now look at this one. What is it telling me? It is telling me this is a task 2. It's supposed to start 3 days back. It's supposed to start 3 days back, but it's not started yet. Okay, and so far so good, right? But here in this plan is telling me this task is still planned. Still, remember what I'm saying. Still is planned to start 3 days back. That's the problem. Okay, this task still is planned to start 3 days ago, which is wrong, which is impossible. When the time passed, either that task is started or didn't start it. If it didn't start it, you need to know when it's going to be a start, because it's not possible to start again in the past, right? So that's why you need to update your project. That's the main reason you need to update your project. And when you open a project file, if you see this case, you can be sure that this project plan is not updated. It's not aligned with the reality. It's not aligned with what happened in the last week. Okay, and it's a very, very important concept that you keep in your mind. What you need, it's all about the updating. Updating a project plan is reflecting, gathering information, and reflecting what happened in the reality, what actually happened in reality regarding your project, and reflect those changes, those things that happened, maybe without a change, maybe it happened exactly as per the plan. That's nice, that's good, but still you need to update it, and still you need to mention to the software that this task completed as per plan. So what you need to do is apply those things that happened in the reality into your plan. If you open the file and see these tasks still are planned for the past, something is wrong. Okay, and this is updating is not the concept of updating is not only for something happened in the past. You can also update the plan for something that is going to happen in future. For example, this task here, look at this task 6 for phase 2 project A. You may say, okay, 1 week passed, But based on the new information that we gathered now, we believe that this task cannot happen on that day. We need to shift it for 2 weeks for any reason, for blah 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 blah. Okay, and this is updating information. This is a very important information, and you need to update this task also here. So keep it in mind that when you are updating, it's not only about the task that is supposed to happen, it's about every task in your project. If you have any information that a task is going to change in future, you also need to update that. And only and when you finish your when you finish your updating, when you complete the process of updating the information in your project plan, your project schedule plan should be representative of the status of the project. If it's not aligned with the current status of project, something is wrong. Either planning was wrong, either updating was wrong, or both together wrong. Okay, I hope you get this information, because you can put all my videos in the garbage. It's not important if you don't get this concept. If this concept is not clear for you, if you don't get it correctly, you will have a problem, big time problem in project management and project planning. Okay, that's the very critical concept that you need to know. Okay, very important. I hope I tried to share this point. I try to transfer these concepts into your mind, but let me say it again, that this is a very important concept and you must master it in your mind. So when you open the project file, if you see a task, or another case, if you see this task, for example, here is 100%, this task is completed. Okay, maybe yes, this task is really completed. I'm not saying it's wrong, but the task is not completed in the future. The task happened in the past. So you need to know when exactly it started and when exactly it finished. So you need to update that. It's very important. It's very important. You cannot just select a task and say, okay, this one task is completed. You need to know when exactly it started, when exactly it's finished. And if you had detailed planning, you need to know how much effort each resource spend on this task. Okay, I hope I made it clear. Now back here. Task 1 started according to the plan. So far so good. So it means according to the plan it started here, right? Okay. Then also work in progress was according to the plan. Okay, so it started and continues the work according to the plan, but on day 2 the whole work stopped and they couldn't work on this task. On day 3 they continued the job, but again on day 4 due to some issues work stopped, and on day 5 they continued the work and finished. Okay, so let me, it was project A, right? I think I can do it in the master plan, but better let's assume that each project manager is responsible for its own project, and the master plan is just for reporting purpose. So okay, let me go to tracking gun. I like to use tracking when updating and see the project plan when the project is in progress. I like to use tracking guns because I can also see the baseline, and if there is an issue with the baseline, my eye can see and detect it. If I'm using gun chart, I cannot see the baseline, so it helped me. But here task usage. I think the easiest way to apply this is task usage. Task A. Okay, so it started as per plan. So the task started on this day. Okay, but day 2 stopped. Okay, it said on day 3. On day 3 they continued the job, but again on day 4, project A, task A. Okay, again on day 4 due to some issues work stopped. Okay, now what is the problem of this updating? The problem is these tasks supposed to be 2 days. Let me double check if task A, 3 kits provide work, continue during the start working with 2 man days, day 1, and continue the work on day 2 with 1 man day. Okay, right. So this updating is information is not aligned because the original plan was to complete the task in 2 days, but here it's mentioned whole work is stopped but on day 2 the whole work stopped. So on day 2 they couldn't work. So far so good. So day 1 they worked, day 2 they couldn't, and on day 3 they continued the job. Okay, let's say, just to, because on day 3 instead of 10 hours, let's say they continued the job for full day, but still couldn't complete the work. Okay, complete the work, and they noticed it require 1 more day to complete, but again on day 4 due to some issues work stopped, and on day 5 they continued the work and finished it. That's better. So as I said, because I never tried to solve this test in past, and seems like no one else also tried to solve it so far since 2019. This part of updating wasn't aligned with the planning, and I just noticed now, if someone was trying to solve it, that person could identify it and notify me, and I could update it earlier, but no one tried to solve it so far, so the issue still exists here. But no problem, now it's better. And let me project A. Now let's see what happened. First of all, when you want to do the updating, remember so far the data entry you had was the planning. Okay, the work, cost, all of them was the plan, right? Now you want to enter the actual data. First, let me remove the budget. Let me add actual work. Okay, so it is saying on day 1 everything was on as per plan. So 20 hours actual work, right? Actual work for this one, right? And also we have actual cost. Let me also add actual cost, because then on day 2 they couldn't work, so I need to make this one 0. They couldn't work, right? And on 3rd day, full day, they work, and still sorry, I shouldn't touch the here. They work 10 hours, right? But still they couldn't finish the work. They assume that 10 hours. See, this is a new planning. This is the new, I'm putting this value inside of the work. So I'm telling the software, these tasks require more 10 hours. Okay, so far so good. But on this Tuesday they couldn't work, So actual work was 0, and they managed to work on next day. Did I think I made it something wrong. Let me move back. Let's try again. Even actual. Okay, let me try again. I think I made a mistake. Okay. Work, actual work, actual cost. Okay. Task 1. Okay. So, in this task, day 1 actual work 20 hours. Okay. I don't need to put a value on cost. If it automatically calculated based on the plan, put it here, but I can change it if I know that the cost is different, but I think I need to wait till the end. Let me check. Yes, I cannot. If you insist to change the actual cost of the task during the updating, you can. There is an option here. File. Option schedule. I think it was here. Let me check. Actual cost. This one. If you remove, if it's selected, then Microsoft Project is not allowing you to put any value on the actual cost till the task is 100% completed. And based on the progress you do, Microsoft Project automatically calculate based on the plan, basically put the actual cost. But if you remove, Microsoft Project is not putting any values, and you need to fill it manually, and you can do it even its task is not completed. It's up to you how you want to use it. But for now, I would say it's better we wait, because at the end, the actual cost is something that is related to accounting, and normally they have a little bit delay, so you can wait a little bit after the task is completed to get this information from accounting. So it's not, there is no harm to wait and then update the actual cost here. Okay, now continue. The material also received, because everything was as per plan. Then next day it said we didn't work. Okay, then they work 10 hours, but they couldn't finish the work. They think 10 hours required, and put it on the work, but they couldn't work. And next day they managed to complete the work with 10 hours. Okay, now look at here. Let me remove budget. Cost rate table, I don't need it here. Cost. This cost is the current cost based on the updating. Okay, if I want to see the planned cost, it was budget cost here. Okay, now I have a budget cost. The cost of this task, the baseline cost was 1,380,000, and now the cost of task is 1,480,000. Okay. Okay. Now I can go back. It's better after always when you do this updating, it's better to go back to tracking Gantt and see what happened here. Now, see, this updating cannot be correct, okay, because let me check. The assumption was the 1 week passed, right? We're supposed to start the beginning of the first 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Thursday, Friday, beginning of the Friday. Yeah, it cannot happen on this day. So maybe I need to update the plan, because see, this cannot happen because it's not aligned with our definition, right? So actually it's not a bad idea to, you also see these points. Let me align this one, because my intention was this task to be completed. So here I can say a job full day, so you couldn't complete the work, they receive one more to complete. I remove this part, but again on day 4. Okay. Complete, and they manage to finish the task on that day. So let me move back, task usage. Now here, okay, so now instead of shifting this one here, this task can be completed here, right? Or wait, starting one day also planned, second day all work stop, okay, second day off, on day 3 they continued, on day 3 they continued, okay, but another 10 hours required, then on that day is completed. Now it's good. Now it's good. And if I move back to the project tracking guns, I can see this is okay now. Now this task, now look at what happened. Because the task 1 had delayed, we couldn't start the task 2. I hope I didn't mention starting the task. Due to task 1, this task postponed to week 2 and nothing happened on this task. Yeah, exactly, that's the point. It's also mentioned in this report that the task 2, they couldn't start. So what happened here is the delay on the task 1 created the effect on the task 2 and shift the task 2 for the next week. Okay, now let's see another, for this project the other task that can happen is task 9. Task 9, according to the plan, started and finished successfully. The actual cost of this task was 30%. Wait. For task 1, according to the accounting report, the actual cost of this task is 20% higher than the plan. Okay, so for task 1, remember there is a little bit difference here. When here it said it's 20% more than the plan, but which plan? Original plan was to finish this task in with 2 days, right? 20 hours day 1, 10 hours day 2. But during the work we noticed this task require extra 10 hours, and cost of those extra 10 hours already included in the task. But now accounting also is coming and saying the cost of this task is increased by 20%. So what you can do is to manually calculate and remove those 10 hours extra cost, or just ignore it and increase the 20% for the current cost of the task. Just keep it in your mind. I'm by providing these examples, by providing these cases for you, what my intention is to open up your mind about how this information can affect on your project plan. That's the important part, because if you get it, if you understand it, you will have it for the rest of your life. Task usage, let me move back here. Let me explain what I'm saying. What I said is original plan was to, if you insert the baseline work, right? Let me import the baseline work. Baseline work here. Baseline work was 20 hours here, 10 hours here. But the plan changed because they noticed during the work that extra 10 hours also require. Baseline cost, let me remove baseline work. The baseline cost show no baseline cost. The baseline cost was the baseline cost for this task on day one, it was 2 days, right? 830,000, 100,000. Now you need to understand this 20% from the original plan that mentioned in the report is 20% of this 900 this amount, sum of this amount, or this amount, sorry, 20% of this amount, or 20% considering the extra work here. Normally the intention of accounting, because accounting don't care about how many hours was for the original and how many hours that task require, right? They only consider the cost of the task. So normally you need to deduct that 100%, the 100,000, then calculate the 20%. But here, just to make it simplified, just to make it simple, actual vote, because I just want to know, I would show you actual. I just want to show you how you can put the actual cost. Let me delete this one, I don't want. Insert actual cost field, and the reporting was for the whole task, right? The task actual cost was 500. Oh, I forgot this. Fixed cost also we need to update them. We didn't update the fixed cost of this one, also I need to include. Let me put it here. 200,000. These are the fixed costs. 300,000. 400. Let's assume that the fixed cost also same, right? Now the total cost of the actual cost is 448,000. Calculator, let's just increase 100. 48 or never mind, let me do the clean work. I changed my mind again, sorry. Baseline cost was 138, 1,038,000. This was the original planned cost. Okay, multiply by 1.2, so the actual cost from accounting now is 1,656,000. Okay. Now I'm putting 6 to 3, right? So I excluded that 100,000 from calculation here because I used the original planned cost as a base to increase to calculate the 20% extra cost. Okay. Let's do it in a clean way anyway. But I hope you get the idea. As long as you get the idea, I'm happy. Let's continue. Task 2 said nothing happened, right? Task 9 finished according to the plan, but the cost is increased. Okay. Let me go back and see where is the tracking? Task C. Task 9. See, task 9 also we have a problem here. And the problem is it cannot be finished, right? It cannot be finished unless I update it and say This task started according to the plan, but finished in maybe 1, 2, 3, in 4, 5. It's 5 days, but because each resource has a different plan, it's extended a little bit. Maybe it finished. Let me check. And let me try to update it and make it happen in 1 week. Resource usage, task usage. Where is task usage? Okay. Phase 1. I don't want phase 2. Task 9. Okay. Task 9. Let me check. Okay, the task 9. Engineer couldn't work on Friday, that's why. But the fixed cost is here, doesn't matter. It seems like that's one of the problem, because for the fixed cost it didn't consider the calendar, and here Microsoft Project put it here instead of here. And I think for this stupid reason, let me see if I can. Let me copy, paste, remove this one, remove this one. Wow. 0. Oh, sorry. 300. 0, 150. Microsoft. Let me go back to the resource. Here, you cannot assign a calendar for the fixed cost, but at least you, Microsoft team, at least you idiot, could somehow align this value assignment to a task based on other resources. Come on, what the... Now I'm regret that I'm using the resource cost. Now honestly I'm regret. But anyway, let's continue. Let's assume that this case happened for one of you. Okay, now let me move back to tracking guns. Unbelievable. The giant company like Microsoft with all these resources, this power, in 2024 is still doing this shit. Task usage. It is what it is. We can't do anymore. We can't do anything about it. Okay, so let's try to make it in shorter time. Task 9, worker. Okay, why worker working this amount while engineering finished the work, integration team finished the work faster? Why worker working 5 days? Let me check. Task 9, task 9. One of engineer team member required to work on this task for 2 days. Required to work on this task for 5 days from time. Okay, I add. Okay. Let me update. Let me change something here. For planning was fine. According to the plan, started. Plan. Task is started, but it is not required for workers to work 5 days, and they can finish their work after 3 work only with 3 working days. That's also an update. Initially our plan was our worker working 5 days. That's fine, but now we notice that 3 days is enough, and task completed. And task is completed. Okay. So what happened here is actual cost, actual work. Where is actual work? Actual work. Okay, this one 50 hours. Okay, this one 10 hours. Day 1. This one 10 hours. This one also 10 hours for day 2. This one also 10 hours. This one also 15 hours. Then on this day 10 hours for the integrator. Workers also coming and working 50 hours, but after 3 days it's done. We don't need this one. 0, right? This is the baseline cost. I don't need it here. Yeah, and maybe, yeah. Okay, and for actual cost of the these 3, I just copy paste and put it, because I assume the fixed cost is happened. Same. Now let me see if it's mentioned about the cost. The actual cost increased 30%. Okay. So the actual cost, the task is completed now, right? No. Because I didn't no need. One more thing, I put 0 here, but Microsoft tried to replan for the remaining work, right? Because Microsoft is still think that 50 hours is required, but what I meant was that 50 hours is not required anymore. It was a mistake, maybe. So I need to clean up the plan part as well, so Microsoft project knows that the work is completed. Okay. Now 30% increased from baseline cost. Baseline cost. This is information that we received from the accounting department. The accounting department 2,300,000. Why? 2,760,000. Actual cost. Okay. Okay, let me look at the tracking gun. Okay, this task is completed. Anything mentioned about the risk? No. But nothing mentioned about task 10, but because the task 9 is finished a little bit earlier, because there was a link, Microsoft project automatically shift back task 10, but in the planning nothing mentioned, at least for this task. Maybe so here it's better. I try to move it 6 hours, move it back. I try to move it back here. So still this task 10 is planned for the based on the original day. Okay. Okay. So this is project A. This is what happened in project A. Now let's look at the, no, I don't want the report here. The project information. Okay, now see what information you have here. Current start date, but and baseline start date is same. Actual is also same. So we started as per, basically it means we started the project A as per the plan. Okay, and there is no variance. It means based on the current progress on project A, we don't expect any variance for the end of project, the finish, I mean the finish part. The variance is 0, yes, because it's actual and baseline is same. And plan is same. Here also there is no variance because currently the current expected day to finish the project A is 5 of December, and baseline was also 5 of December. So there is no variance here. Regarding the duration, current duration is 34, baseline was 34, so we're good. Actual duration we have is 4.74, alright, and the remaining also 29.26 days. The work, but the cost, the current cost is increased compared to the baseline. So our cost of project is increased, but when you look at the cost, remember here only 1 week passed. You only filled the information, the actual details for 1 week. But here when you look at the cost is increased 27,410,000. This value is basically the actual cost plus remaining cost. Okay, here also you can see actual cost and remaining cost. Okay, now let's go to the project B. Let's start updating. Let's say project manager for project A is completed his work. Now we move on for project B, for this beautiful project. Let's see what happened in this one. We took a baseline, right? If I start tracking count, I can see if it has a baseline or not. And I guess this gap here is because of the damn fixed resource. So as a lesson, till Microsoft find a better solution for the I also suspect the earned values calculation is not correct. We're gonna see, we're gonna check, but just wait. So far I concluded if I try to capture another video, I'm not gonna use resource cost to fill the fixed cost. I'm not gonna use resource cost. It's pointless. When it impacted on the project plan like this, it's pointless to use them. Okay, now let me go back. So far so good. As I can see, we have task 1 affected task, and task 6, task 5, and task 6. Task usage and the report. Project B. Task 1. Due to some issues, Mr. X cannot work more than 5 hours on day 1 and on day 2. He is working for 10 hours and finished the work. Okay. Due to some unknown risk, the actual cost of this task is increased by 200,000. Okay, so let's see what the hell Mr. X is doing in this task. Let's see what was the original plan. Original plan was for Mr. X to, it was 15 hours, so it was basically in 2 days. Day 1 was planned here and day 2 5 hours. This was the original plan. So what it's saying here is, due to some issues, Mr. X cannot work more than 5 hours on day 1, and on day 2 he's working in 10 hours and finished. Okay, so basically what happened is Mr. X actual, let me remove the budget cost, add actual work. Mr. X 10 let me add this one and see if the wait, baseline costs, just to make sure. Baseline, not budget cost. Baseline cost, yeah. Okay, so baseline cost. Why this task on Gantt chart started 1 day before? Because of this. Because Microsoft project is not aligning for fixed cost resource with other tasks. This task cannot start because of its resources on Saturday. But Microsoft automatically assigned these fixed cost resources for Saturday as a day 1, and it's messed up the Gantt view. So I hate you, Microsoft, and I'm not gonna use this resource again. And come on, you have so many engineers, so many people to work on this damn tool, and so far you made such oh my god. Okay, never mind. So let me just remove this one. I don't want to see it. So on day 1 what happened is Mr. X spending 5 hours on day 1, but on day 2 10 hours and finish the task. Okay, task is finished. And for the actual cost, let me insert the actual cost. I'm moving a little bit faster now because it's no need to explain. Gain and extra 200, actual cost 200,000. It means 1,300,000 50. Okay, remember I'm putting this value in actual cost, not cost. Okay, task 1. Now I'm moving back to tracking gun to have a look. It cannot be like this. It's impossible to happen. It's impossible for Mr. X to work like this. So let me Mr. X, what the hell, Mr. X? Let me look. Task usage. So it's due to maybe if I say Mr. X, because Mr. X cannot work on Monday. Monday is public holiday. But Mr. X cannot go to this because we didn't reach this day, right? So what we can do is, let's say, let's change the story of the. Due to some issues, Mr. X cannot work on this task for next week So he has spent more time on day 1 and finished the task with 15 hours work. Let's change it like this. So what happened is project B, Mr. X basically didn't work here, and Mr. X spent, original was, but now I spent 15 hours. Remember, I'm put it on actual work, I'm not touching the work. Remember, it's important. And then what was the baseline cost? Actual cost 1,000. Okay. Baseline cost. Now important point. Here it is not mentioned the cost increased 20% of the baseline. Here it's just saying something happened in the task during the work and the cost increased by 200,000. Maybe someone accidentally broke something, and to replace that thing they had to spend 200,000. So here what I need to do is I need to add 200,000 on top of the current cost of the project, because current cost is 1,000. Current cost should be, yeah, no, it's correct. This one is correct. Because without the extra 200,000, the current cost would be 1,150,000, and I just added 200,000 on top of that. Okay, so remember, if the work reduced, if for example you update the task and the amount of work reduced and the current cost of task is less than the baseline cost, when you want to add those extra 200,000, you need to add it on top of the current cost, not on top of the baseline cost. Just what I'm trying to explain here. Okay, so this one so far so good. Let me move back to lovely tracking guns. Okay, now task 2. Mr. Y spent 8 hours on day 1, although according to plan he was supposed to work 5 hours, and I think I meant 10 hours because each day is 10 hours. I don't want to make it complex. Like, he spent 10 hours, 5 hours, he's supposed to work 5 hours, and please note that this extra work is something extra and is not impacting the remaining work on other days. Okay. Day 2 also, this resource spent 10 hours, similar to 10.1. Day 3 and 4, this resource spent 5 hours according to the plan and finished the job. The actual cost of this task is 10% higher than the plan. Then it's better to mention higher than baseline plan, because plan, it can create confusion. Okay, let's start updating this one. Let's bring the task 2 first. So task 2 is here. He cannot work on these days. I didn't mention how many weeks passed, right? Oh, week 1. Okay, never mind. Okay, project B, moving to task usage. Task 2, Mr. Y. Okay, day 1, what is it saying? Day 1. Dun, 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 dun. Mr. Y spent 10 hours on day 1, although according to plan he was supposed to work 5 hours. No. No. Project B task 2. No. Project B task 2 is 10 hours. Let me double check the original plan. Project B. Oh, Mr. Y cannot work more than 5 hours on this task. So something is really, I think I made a mistake here. So total is 20 hours, but Mr. Y cannot work more than 5 hours. So now, interesting thing happened. Something is wrong from original plan. So I need to fix this one. Okay, I made a mistake. Right, 15, 20. Now this change affect everything. Now this change affect everything because originally was only 2 days, now 4 long days, and it affect all these tasks as well. So what I need to do is project set baseline, maybe only task 2. I need to only task 2 because I don't want to change task 1. Oh wait, it's more complicated now because this task is done. This is going to plan. Now it's 4 days, and and it's supposed to be happen here, but this task is not valid anymore because Mr. Y cannot work more than, and let's update, select this one and select, it's basically select all of these, set baseline, selected task to all summary. I don't want to change the baseline for task 1, I just want to update task 2. Okay. No, it's wrong because what was the original plan for? Let me move back. Just to see what was the original. It was like this. Let me check. Task usage. Yeah, 5 hours, 10 hours, it changed to 10 hours, 5 hours. Right. and this one is 10 hours. It should not be 10 hours, it should be, so the original plan was wrong. 5 hours, 5 hours, and 5 hours, 5 hours. Now move back to tracking gun. The total is same, so now I think what the 24, no, the end date is not changing, but because the duration of these are also moved. So what I need to do to rebaseline, yeah, what I did was correct. Rebaseline this project, set baseline, okay. So very important lesson here is never use resource cost. Let's keep it there. Just ignore them. I hate Microsoft. I really hate them. I don't know what the hell they are doing with all those resources, all those money, all those engineers they hired with crazy salaries, and still this shit exists. I cannot believe it. Okay. Now let's start over. So let's move back to resource X, find it. So actual work is, remember I'm putting this value actual work, not in the work. 10 hours, and next day is 5 hours. This task is completed, and let me put actual cost for this one, 200 extra. Okay, so task 1 is good. Now task 2, Mr. Y, what is it said? 5 kits required. Why I didn't assign kits? Oopsie. Seems like I completely missed this part. Required for this task on last day of work. Fuck. And do you know what it happened? Now when from one perspective, it's nice to see this, because in real work also it happened every day, right? But now let's see the impact. Let's see the impact. The impact is, now you need to add kit, right? 5, and you also need to know if this task is in task location. Where is the location? Task 2 location is 0, so it's inside of the E1, so not a problem. It can remain as okay. A, you don't need to worry about this. You need 5, right? But you need all of them at the end. When is that end day? End day is 0, 0, 0, 5. Okay, and it include extra 30,000, 300,000. But the main problem is you didn't consider this in your budget, and now you may end up having the budget cost and budget issue, and you need to decide how you want to cover up this, because someone needs to approve this extra cost, this 300,000 extra cost, and it's happened because I didn't. During the planning, I missed this part. Probably I was here, I didn't see it, and just moved to the task tree. I didn't notice this point. From educational point of view, I'm really happy. It's happened. From myself point of view, I'm a little bit frustrated because it also means I have to engage in a process to convince the people of the project about this extra cost that I missed in the beginning, so it was not included in the budgeting. And believe me, this thing happened in real project as well. So it wasn't intentional, guys. So what it said here, back to the 10 hours on day 1, okay, next day also. Expecting the remaining work on other days. Okay, so what it's saying is, on day 1, Mr. Y spent 10 hours, and it is not impacting the remaining work on other days. It means the 5 hours is extra work that wasn't part of the plan. So it means, although, look at here, right now, if I put actual work 10 hours, Microsoft remove from here 5 hours from end, because Microsoft is trying to maintain the total work. Now let me double click on the task. Advanced. Let me change this to fixed duration. Now I'm putting 10 hours. Still Microsoft trying to keep the duration, but try to reduce the effort per day. Maybe fixed unit was the original one. Never mind, I can put 10, then manually add 5 hours on the plan. It's set on the day 2 also same, right? 10 hours, 5 hours, but I cannot touch this one anymore because it's still a plan. Okay, on day 2 also this resource spent 10 hours similar to day 1, right? On day 3 for this resource spent 5 hours. No, I cannot update this one. This one is not valid anymore because it will be moved on the next week. Let me remove it. The remaining work, the rest of all the remaining work is untouched. Okay. So keep this. No need to actual cost the kit because kit's supposed to happen at the end, but fixed cost I can put. So this task is basically not completed. Now let me move to tracking Gantt. Oh, I made a mistake. First, let me fix my mistake. Then we quickly try to update it again. So this task is not, let me make it 0. Okay, you can keep this. Sure. The problem is Project B, Task 1. We started this account day 1 who work on this plan, and day 2 whole work stopped. Then they couldn't work on this task. On day 3 they continued. Project A. Project B. Due to some issues, Mr. X cannot work on this task for next week, so he spent more time on day 1 and finished the task at 15 hours. I forgot this. I updated this one with mistake. It become a little bit messy, so 15 hours and finished, right? And when you move to tracking Gantt, and 200 extra day hours is included, right? And let me move back to tracking Gantt. Now it's fine. Now it's fine. Now move to back to task 2. So every time you try to update, double check on the Gantt chart to be sure visually it's correct. Task usage. Task usage. Okay. Task 2. Resource Y. It's set 4 hours, right? Day 1 and day 2. But there is no day 1 here, so resource 1 can only work 10 hours here. And 5 hours remain here. But we don't have anything else. Let me, this task is not completed. Let's consider the actual cost of the fixed cost. Kit we will receive at the end. So now I move back to tracking Gantt. Double check. Seems like we align. We're good, right? Now I need to check task 5. Let's see what is it saying for task 5. Due to management decision, this task is postponed middle of the next week. Okay, postponed middle of the next week. Maybe here can use it. Maybe let's assume middle of next week means this. This. It's just an assumption, right? Current date. Okay. Now look at the project B. Now look at the project B. What I have before the red line, the current date, my current date, basically is the actual information, something that happened. This task A is completed, task B, task 2 is started, work a little bit, and it's in progress. And task 5 supposed to start, but now it has a delay. It's shift to the next week, middle of the next week. And this delay due to the management decision also shifted a lot of other resources, and now I have resource leveling issues. We didn't have these issues in past, but because of this shift on plan, these delays, now I have resource leveling issues. That's the beauty of project management here. Now what I need to do is to complete, basically fill the project plans with the actual information, what exactly happened, and for the future also I need to do the planning. And not only the resource, I need to do the planning for, I also need to check budgeting and cost, if it's aligned or not, right? Now let's try to update project C as well. Project C. Let's see the project C. Let's update the project C. This is also interesting. I hate this. Microsoft. I'm happy to find the I am in somehow I'm very happy to have a reason to not ever use the resource, the cost resource again, but at the same time I'm not happy because it happened during solving I reached to this conclusion during solving this this test for you guys. It's a little bit messed up, but if you are trying to solve this question, just follow the other approach for the fixed cost. For the fixed cost, just create, because you have fixed cost 1, fixed cost 2 as a custom field. You have fixed cost. You can just sum all the fixed cost and put it in fixed cost. Or what you can do is, if you need a report to separate them. I didn't see it in this example, but let's say if you need that one, you use just the cost field, cost custom field, and use them and put the sum of them inside of the fixed cost, and use them these custom fields for reporting purpose if it's really required. But don't use this. Don't use this shit resource cost. And there is another reason that I don't like the resource cost. I didn't check yet. I will check it today in this video when I want to look at the earned value results. We will see after updating the project C. Now, so we have this task supposed to happen, right? Current date. Project C task usage. Okay. Engineering task 1. Engineering team spent 20 hours on day 1, but they didn't make enough progress, so they decided to continue the work on day 2 with 3 full-time resources, and they were able to finish their work on day 2. Task. But remember, engineering team only finished their work. Integration team on day 1 was working as per plan, but on day 2, due to delay from engineering team, they couldn't work. On day 3, the integration team spent 10 hours, and on day 4 they managed to complete their work with 2 full-time resources. All required kits delivered at the start of the project. Okay, let's try to update this, but let me look at the, and also hate this. Can I remove this resource form? Showing menu. Fuck resource graph. I don't like you. I just want to see those resource name form. What? Not exist. Okay. Calendar. There are many useless form here. Network diagram. Okay. Task form. What the? I'm sure no one in Microsoft is really caring about this tool. Bunch of idiots. Absolute brain-dead idiots. If you are watching this video, guys, from Microsoft, and you are engineering that work on this software, just Remember, the FU is for you, from deep of my heart. Tracking gun I wanted. Okay. Because in past, this menu was much cleaner and you could have access gun chart, tracking gun, resource sheet, resource usage, task usage very fast. I removed the task usage. Let me check. No, I want task usage. I don't want calendar. Where is the calendar? Here. Okay. Resource sheet. Resource usage, task usage. Okay, now it's better. Now I like it. If it remain, because if I remember correctly, when you close and you open, you will lose this setting. Anyway, so let me go back to tracking gun. So this task originally was 3 days, right? Now we are on Friday, for example. Now move back to current date, move back to task usage, find the task 1. Okay, so we have worker, only day 1, engineer, integrator, kit is set, it delivered at the beginning. So let me remove budget cost, remove add actual work. So for kit 2 received. Okay, then for engineer, what is it set for the engineer? It said spent 20 hours day 1, but they didn't make enough progress, so they decided to continue day 2 with 3 full-time resources, 30 hours. They were able to finish on day 2. Okay, so 20 hours actual work, and instead of 5 hours, 30 hours on day 2. Regarding the integration team, day 1 working as planned. Okay, 5 hours as per plan. Day 2 they couldn't, right? Day 2 due to delay, they couldn't work. Okay. Day 3 10 hours. Day 4 20 hours. Worker also, we just assume that they finished their job on day 1. Okay, anything else? Every day 2 full-time workers are assigned to this task. Okay, this one also changed. So every day 20 hours, 20 hours, 20 hours, 20 hours extra work. As per the report, as per the accounting report, the actual cost of this task was 20% higher than the plan, the baseline plan. Baseline plan. Okay. So, how much was the cost? Baseline cost. Budget. I don't want it. I don't want this. Baseline cost. The baseline cost for this task was 1,670,000. Now the cost is 2,500,000. Right? So even if I accounting is saying 20%, this is not correct. Better is say higher than. Let's maybe it's here. It's better I say higher than current plan. So 20% more than project C. 20% more than this. 20% more than 2,500,000. 2,025,000 multiplied by 1.2. 3,000,000 So no, I forgot to put this as well. No, actual cost. Actual cost. Actual cost. Based on cost. So the total cost is 3,054,000. Applying, increasing the actual cost. Okay, baseline. Okay. Now, task 3. Next week, Saturday. Task 3. Let's see, where is the task 3? Gun char, tracking gun. Task 3. Postponed next week, Saturday. Okay, what I can do is, let's use this one. Update task. No, not actual. The plan. So, not mark on track. I think it was on project. Update project. Reschedule. Selected task for next week, Saturday. Project also start from 7 a.m. right? Your plan. Next week, Saturday. Or it means tomorrow, because we can also assume tomorrow, right? Not necessarily 2 weeks, because right now it's Friday that I'm updating, so it can be 9 tomorrow, 7 a.m. right? Why not? This task is in here. So let me see. Task 4, 0 progress. Right, task 4, 0 progress, because it's in future. Now we updated all these project plans. If you look at every single project plan, you can see on the left side we have only actual information. On the right side we have the plan. Now many things changed. We have resource allocation issues. Okay. Let me go to the ultimate. We have many resource allocation issues. But if you look at the current date, you can see on the left side everything is actual. On the right side everything is a plan. And now if you look at the total cost, you can see the total cost of the program is 59 million. Now let me run the earned value. I want to see the bug. Let me run the, I think there was a table, earned value, right? They have a table, we have a table, earned value. Let me check if the calculation is correct. Okay. Base BCWS, or planned value, is 10 million. Okay. Earned value is 9 million. Value is 9 million, but I would like to see it for the task. Let's check. because Microsoft project is performing this, you just need to, if you update it properly, you will see the result. ACWP or actual cost is 6 million so far, and I think there is a report. If you need a graph, visual report, you can use. Earned value over time, yeah, month, no, maybe day. Okay. You can ask Microsoft to export the report for you. But more important than because Microsoft project is doing this, and you don't need to use formula to do the calculation. I know it's basic. I know it's based on the. We didn't discuss. Maybe in next version of. Try to enhance a little bit updating and include physical percent complete, because right now we didn't include physical percent complete, but I think actual cost, AC, earn value. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Daily. So far we spent almost 8 days for week 1, and based on the current progress, the blue is the earned value, green is actual cost, and the red is the planned value. We supposed to reach 10 million. We spend around 8 million to gain a value around 6 million. We are behind. Now the interesting point for me. Now I want to check if Microsoft project considered the resource cost in earned value calculation. So now look at this task. Task 9 is completed, right? Planned value for this task is 1,500,000. Earned value for this task is 2,300,000. Actual cost for this task is 2,210,000. Let me insert cost. See? Now let me insert cost, actual cost, insert baseline cost. Okay. Now look at the planned value that Microsoft project is calculated for this task. 1,500,000. Where it comes from? Let me show you why I hate Microsoft. As the task usage, task usage. Now baseline cost. Let me insert the baseline cost because it's planned value, right? Now exclude these three: 100,000, 300,000, 150,000. Remove this. How much would remain as a total? Basically, let me do this here. You can see. It does not allow me to. It is not. Okay, let's remove 400, 550, right? 400, 550 from this. or let's sum 1 million. Where it comes from, because the baseline cost is 2. Let's test something. Let's open a fresh new file just to test this one. Task 1. Okay, let me go to resource sheet. Remove that here. Resource sheet. Let's say A, B. A is work 100 per hour. This one is cost. Okay. Now on Gantt chart we have a task. Let's say 10 days, and let's resource A, B, 20 unit, okay. So this task has a cost, right? So now let me move to tracking Gantt, and let me set baseline project, set baseline entire project. Okay, so far so good, right? Now let me insert the cost. You see the cost is 162,000, right? If I go to the task usage, I can see the cost. Remove the work cost. I can see the cost separated by two sources. One source is 1B, which is cost. The type of this resource is cost, and A, which is work with 1,660,000. Okay. Let me increase the cost of this one. So how much I did assign? 2,000. Let me increase 2 million. Or 2 million is too much. 200,000 per day. Okay. Okay. So now total cost is for 10 days is 2,160,000. Right. Now if you bring earned value table, you only see planned value 60,000, right? And this planned value is calculated because of this. It used to be only work with the status date, but now I think it also work with the current date. Let me move the current date to 15. Right now, if I move back, let me insert. It's easier. It's better. Let me insert BC earn value. What is the name of field, for God's sake? Earned EAC, no. Earn value method, no. PWS, budget cost for work planned. But I saw that. Let me check what was the name of field. Okay. planned value, but here I think BCWS 96,000. Okay, so if you increase, like here, if you increase the current date to 22, it's moved 160,000 planned value, right? So at Microsoft Project automatically calculate this. Now let me enable the status date, but put the status date on 15. This is the current date. Now Microsoft Project performed this calculation based on the status date. In past, there was a time that Microsoft Project only considered the status date and not the current date. Okay, so now Microsoft Project automatically performed this calculation with the status date for here, right, 80,000. Okay, now if I project information increase the status date to 16, this one is automatically calculated, but it is calculated without considering the resource cost. The planned value is not 96,000. It's excluded the resource cost. Now let's assume the task is the 10% update task actual work 2, right? Now Microsoft Project calculated the earned value 32,000. But I didn't save the baseline. Wait. I did. I don't remember. Project set baseline. I did. That's why Microsoft Project is calculating. Okay. BAC and EAC 2,160,000. So these two is considered 24 grid line status date. Let me put this color. Okay. BCWS or planned value 96,000. Now, updating the project plan, let me put 5 days. 5 days progress. Still planned value is 96,000. Earned value is 1,080,000. So Microsoft Project is considered the resource cost for earned value, but Microsoft Project didn't, with automatic updates here, actual update, didn't consider the actual cost for these dummies. For B, actual cost. Let's say actual cost for this one is, let me put 2 million just in sake of testing. Now moving back to our lovely tracking Gantt, enabling earn value. Still Microsoft Project is calculating the planned value or BCWS without considering the resource cost. And ACWP, although I gave the actual cost for resource calls, also is still 80,000. Maybe only when I complete the task. No, even when it's completed, it's wrong. See, you can see it's 96,000. So Microsoft Project The Microsoft project developers, you screwed this program and you fucked up so hard. I don't know who are you, but you don't deserve the what you are getting from Microsoft, and you destroyed this software, destroyed this tool. And funny part is this one, that this bug exists in Microsoft project since I think 2016 or since 2010, for a long time, and still they couldn't fix it. So basically it means we cannot use earned value from Microsoft projects, and if you want, you need to manually use the custom field to do the calculation and perform earned value. That's the conclusion. And so this information also should not be valid. Let me go to the project A, just tested at project level. Let me bring earn value. Okay, now earn value, actual cost, AC, actual cost. See, AC is calculated 2,870,000, but actual cost of Microsoft project is 5 million, because fucking Microsoft project didn't consider the resource cost inside of the earned value calculation. And holy fuck, Microsoft, after 10 years, more than 10 years, this bug is existing in this software. And what the fuck this words? No one is telling Microsoft about this point? Okay, guys, I cannot continue. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me close this. And basically what happened here is you just need to, the important point is same as what I mentioned in the beginning of this video. What you need to do is to get the information on what exactly happened for the period of the report and reflect those inside of the Microsoft project, and then check how much is the cost, how much is the cost, what was the impact on the duration, how much delay we have, do we have resource constraint again, do we have a budget and cost constraint again, our planning for the future is aligned or not, how many delays we expect to happen, what we can do to improve the plan, how we can recover the delays, and that's where you can use the benefit of a tool like Microsoft Project or any other tools. Regardless of the limitation and the bugs existing in Microsoft Project, it's a useful tool, but you need to have enough skill to understand that this is a bug, this is a limitation, and how you can find another solution, I mean another approach to skip those issues. So and those issues, not creating misunderstanding, not creating problem in your decision making. That's the very important, and it exists in any software, any tools. I think we did a great job to solve this test. I also found some issues in the project management proficiency test, and thanks to this I managed to solve them. I'm not sure, I think I didn't. I skipped this part. If I'm not wrong, yeah, I think I skipped this one. But where is it? I think I skipped critical chain. Yeah, I skipped this part because I was thinking maybe it's not relevant if I want to solve this one, include it in a plan, because it's very small, not a big deal. I just need to. What I had in my mind was just create a separate file and apply this. But you know, Microsoft Project is not supporting CCPM like many other softwares. And if I really want to do it, I need to also explain the logic. And I honestly I didn't find it very useful without a solid background on this point. So even if I do it in the software, you will not get what I'm doing. I am just changing a resource, adding some dummy task for task buffer and project buffer. It may confuse you, but if you read about this topic, if you study about this critical chain project management, you have enough skills at the moment to do it in Microsoft Project. And I believe there are some commercial add-on on Microsoft Project also that can handle CCPM, but you have other high priority points by using this software and similar softwares than this one, so that's why I skipped this point. It's not a big deal. Okay guys, thank you because you motivate me, you pushed me to record these videos. Have a good day. If you have a question, you know how can I find me. You can find my contact on the website, my website, or put the comments on the videos. And still, Microsoft, come on, you are not a startup company. What the hell are you doing? Goodbye.